Understanding the importance of regularly completing a SWOT analysis changed the entire trajectory of my career. If you've been spending so much of your time focused on improving your weaknesses to no avail, I'm about to change the game for you too. There is a much better way, guaranteed to lead you to much more success. Let's talk about it. Listen, if analyzing your strengths and weaknesses were a game back in the day, I would be the captain of Team Eliminate All of Your Weaknesses. And for no other reason than what is weakness? Like, y'all, I used to be wild, as y'all could tell. But like for me, I didn't want to be bad at anything. And quite frankly, I thought for my strengths, cool, these are great. I'm glad I'm strong at them. I'm going to put them in this little bucket over here and let them just do what they do. And I'm going to work on eliminating anything that is a weakness. And when I tell y'all, like, it was foolish, just not wise, right? Like, I don't know why I did that. But like the better way to do this, I learned, is to complete a full SWOT analysis. And what a SWOT analysis is it forces you to think through your strengths and your weaknesses, but it also forces you to think through what are the opportunities that your strengths open you up to, and what are the threats that your weaknesses expose you to. Y'all, mind blown. Like, it puts everything into context, right? Because being weak in Excel might not matter, right? Like, if I don't have to regularly use Excel, then that's something where I can just Google how to do what I want to do when I need to do it, as opposed to spending this time and energy, perhaps taking a course to understand Excel just so I can say that I'm not bad at Excel. Does that make sense? Like, it's right. It mind blowing. Oh, okay. Mind blowing. Let's try that again. So here's how I spend my time now. I complete a SWOT analysis, and then I spend my time in two buckets, right? Just focus on two things. Because the other thing is, when you come up with all of these areas that you're trying to improve, you are probably making very small progress, if any at all. So what I've started doing is, each time I complete a SWOT analysis, I'm focusing on two things. One, which strength is my greatest strength that opens me up to the greatest opportunity? So this is a strength that if I can take myself from advanced to expert, it's going to open doors for me. I want to spend my time there because I want to be the expert at something. I want to be the specialist. I want to be the person they go to when they need assistance with this thing. So that's one bucket of where I spend my time. The other bucket is on the weakness that exposes me to the greatest threat. So going back to Excel, if I'm not using Excel regularly, so what? Get your other Excel expert to do it, right? And get somebody else to do it. Like, I just don't need to focus there. However, if one of my other weaknesses were public speaking, and public speaking is something that I have to do regularly for my job because I am facilitating big meetings, or they frequently ask me to get on stage at a conference. Like, if that is your story, right, then obviously being weak at public speaking exposes you to a great threat, because it could make you less effective at your role. And so what you'd want to do is then spend some time bringing that weakness up, right? Like, that's the one where you may not be able to turn it into a complete strength where you are just an expert at it, but incrementally you can improve it, and you can get to a space where it's no longer on that weakness list. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle, right? Like, it's not a strength, it's not a weakness, but you've eliminated the possibility of that weakness bringing that threat to reality. And so I'm going to go ahead and drop a link for an exercise that you can complete. It's a guide that walks you all through how to complete a SWOT analysis. Like, it's one thing to have the little 4 squares on the paper. It's another thing to have thought-provoking questions to help guide you to make sure that you're not selling yourself short, 1, or 2, just making yourself think everything is roses and rainbows, and it's not. So I'm going to drop the link to that exercise so you all can complete your SWOT analysis, and then come back and let me know in the comments, like, what you learned, what you found, what was helpful for you. Did you learn something new? Did you identify a new weakness that has now transformed or changed the way that you are approaching your career development? Let me know.